Today, we're here to take you through our experience at the viral restaurant in Chengdu, China.
The restaurant recreates a palace-like banquet experience where modern-day peasants like us can enjoy a day of luxury.
This experience was so damn awesome, really like one of a kind.
Let me give you a little background. During the Great Dynasties, an invitation to this type of palace banquet would be considered the highest honor. You would only be here if A, you're royalty, or B, maybe you have achieved something extraordinary and has earned you the favor from the emperor, or maybe if you're a foreign ambassador bringing peace from a neighboring kingdom. That's another possibility. Basically, this is a dining experience reserved for the most esteemed guests of the emperor. Of course, I was so excited to experience this. Ancient Chinese drama was one of my favorite things as a kid. I reenacted as different historical characters countless times. This is basically my childhood dream come true. As we walk in, you can tell the theme of the restaurant is very Han Chinese. The lobby is a good mix between the classic and the modern.
Yeah, and the ceilings were super high. You actually feel like you're in a palace.
All their employees were wearing hanfu. Receptionists, makeup artists, waiters,
Waitresses.
waitresses.
For those of you who don't know, Hanfu is the name of the ancient clothing Han people used to wear.
They would talk and gesture in the traditional way. They took some liberty in that though, since the ancient usage of the Chinese language was not even close to the modern Chinese, so they can ensure that everybody can understand and be in the moment.
It was really thoughtful, to be honest. You really felt like they really cared about preserving the culture and sharing that with their customers.
After we signed in, we went up to the dressing room area on the second floor. While dressing up isn't required, coming in hanfu is highly encouraged. They offer packages for makeup and hair, as well as renting outfits for $20 to $30 total.
Yep, and the employees were super awesome and extremely patient. I was pretty shy at first as I didn't want to give off cultural appropriation vibes. But I think they sensed what a blast I was having and how excited I was to do this, and I think that they fed off of that and really appreciated my curiosity. Wow, would you look at that hat? Absolute heat.
I've never worn the whole hanfu getup, so I went for a mysterious girl that looks soft but is actually a vigilante look. If you watch ancient Chinese kung fu themed drama, you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of, I really recommend the Heavenly Sword and the Dragon Slaying Saber to anyone who's curious.
Yeah, this was the first Chinese kung fu drama I watched. Absolute gas. I loved every minute of it. The plot was fire. The action was good. I can't recommend it enough. And it's for free on YouTube with English subs.
Anyway, I digress. I was talking to my makeup artist and she told me that she used to read and practice ancient looks as a hobby. She applied to this restaurant as soon as she heard that there's an opening. It was just so cool to see how passionate she was and how knowledgeable she was. She knew the exact hairstyle that was in trend in different dynasties. The whole process took about an hour. We still had 30 minutes to hang out before the banquet starts. They built these scenes for people to take pictures. There were also a lot of props we can play with. I was so happy to live my ancient person life.
And here I am, trying to create world peace, signing a treaty between China and the West. No, not really. This guy and his wife were shocked to see me wearing this outfit, so they asked if we could take some pictures, and I was super flattered, and honestly, it was such an awesome experience. I'm glad that I was able to do that.
When it's finally time, they took us to our seats. It was so cute that they were carrying those traditional lanterns to lead the way. We were pretty lucky to get the front row since we only got our tickets, I think, the day before. On our table, there's already tea and plum wine that's refillable throughout our whole meal. The menu is overwhelming to say the least, but very, very exciting at the same time. It's separated into different dynasties. I'm not sure whether the dishes are correlated to their respective dynasties, but the shows are definitely from the dynasty. There were honestly too many courses to count. There were 9 appetizers that were mostly desserts and fruits.
And while we don't condone drinking for lunch, I definitely enjoyed my share of plum wine. If you're gonna act like royalty, you might as well enjoy like royalty.
The first performance is a palace drum dance from the Han Dynasty. One woman just drops down from the ceiling on a huge drum and starts dancing. Our first course is up, and it's seriously such a sight to see. I felt like royalty, but at the same time, we feel a little bad that they were kneeling because we are fellow peasants. The soup is really good. The second show is also a palace dance from the Han Dynasty. It's from the ancient Shu Kingdom, which is today's Sichuan province in China, and that's exactly where we were, which is pretty cool. We realized that they would display the recipe of each dish on the screen as they were being delivered in ancient Chinese poem form. The third show involves both dancing and singing. This is a famous love story from the Tang Dynasty. This dish is called the Tang Dynasty abalone with noodles. Abalone is pretty expensive. It's about $500 per kilogram. That's about $250 per pound. And that's Tim's favorite. It's the braised pork belly.
So hot shoot.
This palace dance is from Tang Dynasty, written by a Tang emperor. It depicts the goddesses of the moon. The famous young concubine from 719 AD was known to be very good at this dance. She was known for being so beautiful that she ruined the country because the emperor couldn't focus. She was forced to commit suicide to save the country due to public pressure. Pretty crazy to blame her instead of the emperor, but I guess that's how things were back then. They also included 4 different minority dance. As you can see, their outfits are a little bit different than Han Chinese. You can see the influence from India and other parts of Asia. haven't really talked about the food. I like all of them, but I feel like I couldn't focus on eating them because after they serve the food, they just start dancing. There's a good variety of everything: meat, vegetable, seafood. Portion wasn't very big, but it wasn't small. I couldn't finish almost half the stuff. I got really full at the end, and I was starving in the beginning. The last part of the entertainment is an ancient wedding gown show. They're from different time periods. You can tell some of them look even a little bit Western. This was such a good experience. It's probably one of the most memorable lunch I've ever had.
Same here. One aspect of this whole performance that I really enjoyed was definitely the attention to detail that went into all the different outfits that correlated with different dynasties. You know, the different colors, the different types of dances and music really helped me feel immersed in the culture to get a better idea of how each dynasty differed from one another. I've never had a dining experience like this before, and it was one that I'll remember for a lifetime.
Please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.